You actually have the power to manipulate and elevate your mood by some of these small choices that you make, and I find that really quite profound. Sometimes all of the positivity in the world doesn't equip you with what to do in the moment when you're going through a hard time. Sometimes it's really hard to get back on track when things aren't going your way. Something or someone has thrown you off track. Sometimes we can feel like our days have been ruined and we really don't know what to do, and we can lose focus, especially when we're going through a hard time. I always say that those kind of struggle times are a perfect sign that we really need to change something in our course of action, our decision making, our attitude or perspective or environment. But one of the easiest places to start when knowing what to do when your day, month or year is ruined is actually increasing our self-care. Now, self-care doesn't necessarily have to look like having a spa day or a long bath, although that can be great too. If you've gone through the end of a relationship, if you've recently lost a loved one, if you're going through a hard time with one of your friends, if you're struggling at work, whatever it is that you're struggling with, know that this is a perfect time to create balance. At times like this, you're going to be going through feelings of uncertainty, overwhelm and anxiety. And the truth is we're going to experience these sorts of ups and downs throughout the course of our lives. But the most resilient and successful people in the world recognize these as opportunities to create balance elsewhere in our lives when one aspect of our life is struggling. They also recognize that addressing these issues head on will help them to be healthier, more present, and better overall for all of those important people in our lives. I often find that action is one of the best places to break a cycle. Our behavior is so often directly affected by our mood, and even the most self-disciplined person can be thrown off track during difficult times in their lives. At times when I'm starting to become overwhelmed or feeling as though things aren't going well, the first thing I do is to reconfigure my life goals. Sometimes it's the case that the thing that I felt like I was working towards is something I no longer want to make moves towards. The other side of it is that maybe something that I was going to prioritize at a different stage in my life is something I'd like to focus on a bit more intently now. This process can take time, but it's so important in helping you to refocus your current state and to launch you into a new chapter in your life with so much more energy. From this point, it's about reconfiguring your to-do list. So what tasks do you need to do to achieve your goals? Breaking it down into micro steps and making each point so actionable that it's almost ridiculous. This can also really help to refocus your emotions from the stress and anxiety that you're currently feeling into something actionable, something doable. The single most important thing you can do is to regulate your sleep. Now, I've done a whole video on sleep procrastination and how this can really impact your life and what to do to overcome it. But prioritizing your sleep when things are going bad for you is so revolutionary, and I really can't stress this enough. Prioritizing your sleep is one of the best things that you can do, because at times like this, when your anxiety is high, your sleep can really suffer. So this could be that you're struggling to get to sleep, or you're finding yourself waking up earlier. Maybe you're having disrupted sleep throughout the night, or even if it's the case that you are sleeping the standard, say 7 to 8 hours that you might usually sleep, you're actually waking up feeling really tired and exhausted, which means that it wasn't a fully rested sleep. I have suffered from insomnia during many phases of my life, and it's something that runs in my family as well. My daughter has also struggled with sleep issues, so I've had to go above and beyond to try and do things to regulate my sleep. If I'm being honest, trying to get that balance back has been an ongoing struggle, but I really feel like I'm back into creating some sort of routine and rhythm that has really helped me to improve my sleep. Now, I know I wasn't going to say too much about this, but having a shower or having a relaxing, warming bath can be so therapeutic, but not for the reasons that you might think. Having a bath helps to lower your blood sugar. It can help you to fall asleep faster and sleep deeper. It can lower your blood pressure. It relieves tension in your muscles and helps to improve your blood circulation overall. It can wash away toxins, both physically and emotionally. It can help to relieve headaches, specifically tension headaches, and slow down the production of cortisol, which is more commonly known as the stress hormone. And it can help to regulate your breathing. All of these things can help get you into a state of deep relaxation. But above all of this, the active dissociation and disconnection from the world, this sacred private time away from everything and everyone else, is amongst one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. It's the physical act of forcibly taking yourself away from everything that's going on around you, all the stresses, and allowing some of that quiet, silent time to bring back some clarity, some peace, and some focus, which is why it's a practice that's so celebrated, even if people don't understand that that's why it is. I truly believe that your environment, especially the space where you spend the most of your time, can have an effect on your mind. Aside from the obvious tidying up, it's how you personally optimize your space that matters the most. This is going to look different for everyone, and where you spend most of your time will differ from one person to the next. It may be your lounge area, area, it may be your bedroom, it may be your bathroom or your kitchen, but the space that you spend your most time in needs to be optimized to make you feel great. Nothing in that space should make you feel heavy. Everything should make you feel light. It should make you feel inspired. Look around your bedroom if you're in it right now. Take a mental note of everything that doesn't inspire energy and positivity. Make the necessary changes to your space. Can you move your furniture around so it's facing the light? If there are things like excessive paper, can you purchase some inexpensive filing systems to get a handle on that? Establish a basic standard for yourself going forward and optimize your environment so that you're able to maintain that. Sometimes changing surface level elements can help to elevate your internal state as well. At my lowest point in life, this aspect suffered the most, and since actively making changes, I've completely turned around the negative energy. So for example, making sure you only wear clothes that make you feel good. When you throw on clothes that make you feel sloppy, just for the sake of comfort, we'll eventually see this trickle into other areas of your life if you continue going down this path. Only have items of clothing that make you feel good, whatever that might look like for you. This won't be the same for everyone, and your best won't be the same every day, particularly during difficult times. But if you are in possession of items of clothing that are beautiful to you, comfortable and inspiring, then even at your worst, you are still maintaining a basic personal standard for yourself, which is so important, especially because when you then pick yourself up from this, it won't be as difficult. Another thing when it comes to the way you dress could be when you need to present yourself to the world, or even if you don't, bringing in one thing or one item that elevates your look ever so slightly. For me, when I'm working from home, that will be a pretty headband and some tinted lip balm. But just the idea of putting your best foot forward, even if you're not feeling your best, does immense things for your self-confidence. As I said before, your best won't be the same every day, particularly when life is hard, but the small act of elevating yourself is an easy way for you to prevent yourself from hitting rock bottom, even when life is really difficult. For me personally, prayer always does immense things for my emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. If I'm struggling and finding it hard to get myself together, one of the things that I will do is pray. Just like we spoke about earlier, I find that the active disconnection from the rest of the world brings me so much clarity. It helps me focus. It helps me to put my head and my heart into something bigger than myself. I find that so therapeutic on so many levels. Make your environment inspiring. Whenever I'm going through any change, I surround myself with quotes that are relevant to the next phase in my life. So I have a roll of cards next to my bed that I look at every morning, or most mornings if my daughter allows me to. These help me to refocus my day, to inspire me, to remind me of how to get back on track. They remind me of what my purpose is so that all of my actions throughout the day are in alignment with my greater mission. They also help me with the areas of my life that I need the most support with at any given time. So let's say if I'm struggling with boundaries or clarity or motivation, whatever my greatest need is at that time, that is what will be in my periphery at that time. I also optimize my phone's lock screen wallpaper. Currently on my phone there's 2 quotes that I just created a quick edit for on Canva. The first is a prayer, and that's very personal to me and my family, so I won't be sharing it. But the other quote is, "You can change your life at any time, so whatever you're not changing, you are choosing." This is a simple way that you can optimize your environment to suit your mental clarity and for your overall success. Opening up your windows and curtains is an easy one that you can do straight away. Just bringing in some fresh air, putting a candle on or some air freshener or a diffuser. Just bringing some aromatherapy back into your space. I always find that the scent of a space is one of the first things that you notice when walking into any environment. But the other thing about aromatherapy is that it can really help to influence your mood. Something citrus-based may help to energize you. Vanilla, musk, or spices might help to soothe or calm you depending on what it is that you want to feel at any given moment. You actually have the power to manipulate and elevate your mood by some of these small choices that you make, and I find that really quite profound. I know that for a lot of people, going for a run helps immensely with elevating their mood. Some people exercise as a conscious way of improving their mood, which in moderation is a fantastic healthy coping mechanism. I'm sure that's great for a lot of people, and I'm also sure that once you've done it, you won't regret it. But for me personally, at times when I'm feeling low, that's the last thing I want to do, and honestly, probably is the last thing I'm going to do. Going for a walk is a great alternative, but on days when you're feeling really low, when feeling as though even going for a walk is too much, I find a simple stretching routine is the way. You can literally do it from where you're sitting at this very moment. Stretching can increase your blood circulation and release endorphins, also known as the happy hormone, but it can also help to improve the quality of your sleep. Doing a quick stretching routine can really help to gain some control back on your body and act as a healthy form of self-care. Another thing that can help during difficult times is to make the commitment to being tech-free for at least 1 hour. Some people might be listening to this and thinking, oh, it's easy to go 1 hour without technology. And you might even think of examples in your day when you do. But actually, I'd like this to be intentional and conscious. Deciding to put all of your devices away for 1 hour, including your TV, is a mindful decision. Studies have shown that intentionally stepping away from your devices can help to make you feel calm. It can increase your feelings of contentment with your life. It can increase your productivity. It can improve your confidence and your self-esteem. It can improve your physical health, and it can help you to sleep better. We might mindlessly do it many times throughout the day, but how many times do we stop and make this a conscious decision? However, depending on what's going on for you, the overwhelm might have just built up too much to the point where taking these steps may help, but they won't fix it for you. When this happens to me, the best thing for me personally is some time away from everything. 2 to 3 days of just changing your environment, changing your space, going somewhere beautiful, going somewhere unfamiliar, taking a short break from your day-to-day responsibilities, or even the people or environment that are causing some of your overwhelm can have such a huge impact on your physical and psychological health. It can help you to relax your overworked mind. It allows your brain to have the necessary rest that it needs. It can put things into so much more perspective for you. It can help you to understand what matters to you and what doesn't. It blocks all of the external chatter that's causing your mind to be so clouded. Although I have a solid support network and they give me such beautiful peace in my heart, and I'm so incredibly grateful for their presence, but sometimes I just need to hear my own voice. And that's where I think stepping away and breaking away can really help, so that you know that the decisions you're making are your own ones and that you gain confidence in being able to make those decisions, as well as having more certainty about how to action the things that you want to change. So those were some things that I like to do when I'm going through a hard time. Make sure to share this with someone who is struggling at the moment, and let the community know what things help you when you're going through a difficult time. That's it from me for now, and I will see you in my next one.